Hi guys, it's Kelsey again. I have another PowerPoint for you, and in this PowerPoint we're going to tackle a couple of different topics. So keep watching if you're interested in learning how to report your numbers, why it's so important to go to weekly ADI meetings, and how you can stay focused at home. So this is the reporting number sheet, and let me just explain it to you. It looks a little complicated, but it's not that bad at all. On the left side, you're going to see the names of the ambassadors, so you would just find your name and then fill in the row that corresponds to your name. The first column is unique alumni, so let me explain what a unique alumni is. So a unique alum is an alum that has not yet been reached out to on your list, and it is your first time contacting them. So for instance, if you email 15 alumni, but with 5 of them it's your second email, then you would have 10 new unique alumni. And then the second column and third column, you're going to just record the number of phone calls that you made and the number of emails that you've made. And then from there, the next block is the alumni contacted. So let's say you emailed 15 but only 5 responded to you, then you would email 5. You would write 5 in the email column. Let's say you reached out to 15 by phone and you only contacted 5. You would write 5 under the phone column. Under the next chunk would be interviews held and how they were generated. So let's say you held 3 interviews that week. You'd write 3 under total, and if you contacted the alumni through phone or email, like how you ended up securing that interview. The next column is referrals. So if the alum gave you any referrals, write that number in that column. And introductions is the next one. If you personally introduced the alum to any staff member on campus, any faculty member, any professor, or any alumni association member, write that number down as well. And then the last column is how many interviews you have scheduled next week. And then from there, as you can see in the last few columns, they're bolded, and those are just your numbers that are continuous from week to week. So just to reiterate, unique alumni contacted. How did you contact them? By email or phone? How many interviews do you have and how are they produced? The amount of referrals you have, the amount of introductions you have, and then how many interviews you have next week. So just make sure to keep track of your numbers so you're not trying to count them all up after you've already done your outreach. Try to keep track of them while you're doing your outreach so you don't have to go back and do that over again. Okay, so weekly ADI meetings are really fun, but here's why you should go to them. It's really important to attend the weekly meetings because, number one, you get updates and advice from fellow ambassadors. So for instance, I was always a little unsure about how to do specific outreach with a bunch of alumni, and I learned how to from my fellow ambassadors. They give you tips on what to say when you're conducting your interview and some other things. So it's very important to go because you can also develop leadership skills with guest speakers. So we learned how to make small talk on one of our first sessions, and that was really important, and I really learned how to, it really helped me with my later interviews. And not only that, but you get paid for going to meetings, so why not go? There's no reason not to go. You should definitely go to weekly ADI meetings. And then lastly, how to stay focused at home. So, as you know, this job is really lenient in terms of time. So it's really important to make a schedule and keep to it. So it's really important to do outreach in different chunks at a time. So for instance, you can do like 2 hours on Wednesday and 2 hours on Thursday. Or if you're a little bit busier that week, you can say 1 hour one day and maybe 1 hour another day. But the following week, you can work up to more hours. And if you find that you can't really focus at home, definitely come into the alumni offices if you want a more focused environment, because there are phones and computers here that you can use to do your outreach. Alright, thanks for listening. Hope you found this helpful.